The Kurdish political parties may seem a minor security issue for Tehran at the first glance. In reality, however, it's one of the most sensitive and strategically important issues. And it has taken on even greater significance following the recent US-Iran war. Hello. What I'm going to discuss today is a clear sign that Iran is preparing for another wave of war with the United States. Abbas Araghchi, Iran's foreign minister, visited Baghdad yesterday. According to Reuters, he met with Fuad Hossein, the Iraqi foreign minister, and they discussed some diplomatic topics. One of the main topics of the discussion on the demands of Iranian side was preventing the Kurdish political parties from sending troops from Iraqi Kurdistan into Iran. They discussed this, according to Reuters, besides talking about broader diplomatic issues and regional stability, how peace talks between the United States and Iran, what's going on and what is going on. The Kurdish political parties may seem a minor security issue for Tehran at the first glance. In reality, however, it's one of the most sensitive and strategically important issues. And it has taken on even greater significance following the recent US-Iran war. These Kurdish political parties maintain a stronghold among their own people, among almost 10 million Kurdish people inhabiting Iran in the western areas. They fight for a democratic federal Iran in which the rights of suppressed nations such as Kurds, Adaris, Baluch, Turkmen, and Arabs are maintained, are recognized. And they have armed wings. They train Peshmerga forces. And they are the most organized organizations across Iran. To give you a glance about their significance, for example, the Democratic Party of Iranian Kurdistan have 8 years of experience. This party found the Kurdistan Republic, the Republic of Kurdistan, following the World War II. This party fought the Shah regime and played a significant role in opposing it. The party played a significant role in fighting the Islamic Republic of Iran from the outset. After the 1979 Iran's revolution, the leaders of the party at that time, Dr. Abdurrahman Qasimlu, according to the Western analysis, was the most significant figure opposing Khomeini, the founder of the regime. Of course, a few years later, some other figures were taking alliance with the Islamic Republic of Iran, broke from them and became opposition figures too. And in fact, Abdurrahman Qasimlu, they assassinated him on the negotiation table, the diplomats of the regime. They did so in Vienna in 1989, and we're approaching the anniversary of the assassination. It happened in 13th of July. A few years later, in 1992, they assassinated Dr. Sharaf Kandi. It was a joint operation by terrorists sent by the Islamic Republic of Iran and Hezbollah of Lebanon. And this party fought the regime heavily. And many other things. This can be a distinct program. I'm gonna make a video on it, an episode on it And other parties, for example, the like Komala, party of Iranian Kurdistan, Komala, the Taylors, party of Kurdistan, Pajab, the Kurdistan Freedom Party, the Chabad organization of the Iranian Kurdistan. There are other parties. They are significant parties as well. They made an alliance, in fact, a few days before the recent war between the US and Iran broke out in February. And in fact, Washington and Tel Aviv counted on them to start a ground offensive into Iran, liberating the cities one by one, supported by the air defense of the US and Israel. And they counted on them, and had it not for and they were expected to start the ground offensive a few days into the war, and had it not for the Turkey's strong opposition to this decision, to this participation. In fact, Erdogan called Donald Trump, asked him to refrain from participating the Kurds into the war, and threatened him if he didn't do so, he would take sides with the Iranians. Had it not been for that, the whole equation of the war would have changed. Of course, in favor of the Iranian people, in favor of the suppressed nations in Iran, and the IRGC would have been much weaker now, if the regime wouldn't have been overthrown. And why they have the bases in Iraq, Kurdistan, it's a long story. Their bases were along the border area between Iraq and Iran, and Iran couldn't take it. But when the Iraqi Kurdistan became autonomous following the first Gulf War in 1991, in fact, during the George Bush the father, Iran used this attacked this Kurdish autonomous region in Iraqi Kurdistan in order to put pressure on the Iranian Kurdish forces. They retreated from the border area in order to protect the Iraqi Kurdistan from Iran's daily bombardment, with many casualties. But however, even though they retreated, they maintained their Peshmerga forces. From time to time, they operate inside Iran. Their focus is on civil fight against the regime. Whenever they call for a strike, they receive positive response from Kurdish people. Many cities, around 50 cities, with 50 big cities with hundreds of villages, go on strikes. And whenever they ask people to demonstrate, they do. They manifest. And in fact, Women Life Freedom in 2003 started by them, organized by them, sustained by them. The regime fired missiles at them, even killed their leaders, many members of their leadership in 2023, when after the Women Life Freedom started. And when the recent war started between the US and Iran, since then Iran has launched hundreds of drone and missiles into their bases, their headquarters in the Iraq Kurdistan. But these political parties refrained from sending troops in recent months, mainly to avoid paving the way for the regime to conduct another massacres in the Kurdish region. Well, it's obvious Iran wants to neutralize this potential security threat, but would it succeed in doing so? I don't think so. Have a nice day.